not doing that whole gimmick anymore. It never ends out. I'm pretty sure Danny's cutting most of that. Like usually on a week by week basis, most of that intro disappears whenever you throw it to me. So,
Why?
Kaya, what about you?
Now I'm filibustering. Why would he cut that?
About?
Because it's just stammering, trying to find something until I subtly throw it to one of you three.
Isn't that what 90% of our show is?
Yeah, he doesn't get to
your
make
fault then.
He doesn't get to make editorial decisions. First of all, if Charlie wants you to bring up a topic, Jackson, you're gonna bring up a topic. Go.
Yeah, I'm the puppet master, and you're gonna dance for me, Jackson.
So, how do you guys feel about ancient Greece?
It's okay.
Man, yeah, that sucks. Kyle, what do you have to talk about?
How do you feel about?
I'm just a fan of ancient Greece.
Are you?
Yeah, why not?
All right, good point.
What do you have against ancient Greece? It's like the birthplace of all art.
Okay, tell us about it.
We wouldn't be making podcasts probably if it weren't for the ancient Greek people.
That's true. Socrates started the first podcast.
I
He's on
wouldn't-
episode
I
like
wouldn't
2000.
be-
Yeah.
I wouldn't be painfully stammering to find a topic if it weren't for all those Greek philosophers.
I think you did a great job, Jackson.
Mm.
Thanks, man. It's hard carrying the show.
So Jackson, are you excited then for the new Assassin's Creed?
That's Vikings, but yeah,
History,
I guess. Yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty big fan of any kind of historical setting, any of them. So, yeah,
Okay, are you gonna be
good topic.
100%ing it again autistically like you did the last one? Were you obsessed for like 85 hours within a single week? Which one was that?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the Egyptian one. And that wasn't autistic or anything. That was a pretty big accomplishment. Actually, that's what I wanted to ask you guys. I was thinking about this before because I was playing the old like last year's Assassin's Creed, the ancient Greek one, trying to 100% that. Now that you do bring that up, that's what I was doing, and it got me thinking. What are your guys' biggest gaming achievements? Not as in the achievements, as in like Xbox achievements, but just in general. Like the biggest feat you've accomplished.
Holding the world record in House of Caravan for a while.
That was like a week, right?
Well, I mean, it was a constant back and forth, but yeah.
He held it
Plus, that's a
briefly.
game no one cares about.
No one cares
Wow.
about a fucking platinum trophy in Assassin's Creed either, but you're
Hey, I
still
didn't say
proud
that
of
was
it.
my biggest achievement.
Okay, what's your
What is
biggest
it then?
gamer achievement?
What's that Call of Duty airplane level? There's a really like doing
Mile
that on
High
veteran.
Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that.
God, that's
That was
so
pretty-
fucking pathetic. You just beat that,
How's
and
that pathetic?
that's your
That's
biggest
really,
accomplishment
that's
is
not
beating
hard
that.
at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was super hard.
No, it
all right, maybe it's
wasn't.
not. All right. How about beating Spyro, the original Spyro trilogy, 100%? How about that? Huh, Andrew? Is that good enough for you? A game made for children?
now
Me
I-
100%ing it?
Are you sure you said 100%? Because that's everything in the game, Jackson. That's unfathomable. I mean,
That's incredible.
Well, all three games, really.
all three. That's almost like 300%. Holy shit!
Actually, the first game goes to 120%.
Oh my god!
I can't even comprehend the math.
I can't fucking believe it.
That's how complete it was. What an
Wow.
achievement.
That is big. Yeah, that is huge.
What about you, Andrew? Let me guess. It's either Magic the Gathering orientated or Guitar Hero, I would assume.
I do have one for each of those actually.
Or just one. Just choose one.
Okay. I mean, I guess beating through the fire and the flames on Expert on Guitar Hero is a pretty good achievement.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. I feel like that's the milestone when you're finally actually pretty good at the game, when you can get through
What-
that song on Expert.
What does the Council of Gamers here say? Is that good enough, Charlie?
It's
Kaya?
definitely not easy.
Have you done it?
When I played, I think so. I don't recall.
Does anyone remember those old the motorcycle games Trials? I think. Not
Yeah,
Trials
yeah,
Fusion, the one
Trials and
before that.
Trials HD, Trials Evolution. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Evolution. There was I beat all of the levels and got gold on all of them. And that was hard.
That is a pretty hard game, actually. So let's bounce off of the idea of achievements, Jackson, because I think the only game ever that I 100%ed was like all the Batman Arkham games.
Those are good.
And yeah, they also had like fun ways to 100% them. And I remember after it was done, I feel like I 100%ed it only just because I liked the game so much and I wanted an excuse to replay all of them. But it got me thinking because they were also the last games where I just even went for achievements, got, however many years those came out ago. Do people still care about achievements overall?
I don't think so. I know, like, Ray is still huge into achievements.
Yeah,
but
there's
overall,
definite people still chasing for the top spot or doing it as like a hobby or just an idle thing. But I feel like the general populace hype over achievements is just completely dead. Like no one cares about them anymore.
Wait, people cared about achievements at any point?
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
back in,
when-
Gamerscore was huge on the 360. I remember when I broke 100K
obsessed over
Gamerscore.
it. Jackson.
I mean, I'm obsessing over it now. I was born too late. I missed the moment in history where my skills would have actually been useful. That's a fucking shame.
But yeah, I mean, that was the fucking trend. Like the current trend now is like streaming and sharing clips and your memes and shit. But back during that era, the #1 trend was how much gamer score you had and what achievements you got, and people like getting a certain game and going, "Oh, there's the achievement for doing that really arduous, hard thing. Do you have it? I have it. Haha." You know what I mean? That was the thing.
Come on, there's something satisfying about seeing the achievement pop and like
There was.
those little virtual
absolutely.
trophy there to signify that you've done something in the game. I don't know. It's like a little medal. It's like people who go to a war and stuff get their little achievement medals.
Yes,
You know,
that is the
achievement
perfect
medals.
analogy. That's
And I
just
get
what I
mine.
was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be buried with my achievements.
Print out a little spreadsheet of all the achievements I ever made and put it in my grave with me.
Instead of a military cemetery, it's a gamer cemetery. Only all the highest scoring gamer scores get in.
Oh,
Do you
that'd be
think
cool.
they bury you with your gamer handle rather than your real name?
Oh, that would be
Zealot
cool.
on
Oh,
PC rests here.
Instead of your
I thought
birth year and
Go on.
death year, they just write how many years you played each game.
that'd be a pretty big tombstone.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to read that.
There's no tomb stuff big enough for my grave then.
Imagine the stone needed. But that reminded me, do you guys fucking remember talking about like gamer score being important back in the old Xbox 360 days? Do you remember the little fucking signifiers they gave each profile? Like you could choose which community you belong to, like the
yeah.
Underground and the Rebels or whatever.
There was
I don't
4 of
remember that.
them. There was Underground and then a casual zone and then 2 others that no one used.
Yeah, what did it do?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
It helped you find friends, I imagine, but I don't really know what you're talking about. I don't remember that.
Was it like star signs?
You don't remember it?
No, I don't remember that.
It was underneath like everyone's gamer tag or whatever on their little profile. It would say
Yeah.
like belongs to the Underground clan or whatever. Or group.
It was part of your profile where you could set like your age, your sex, like your type of games that you play and all this shit. And it would show up whenever you looked at someone's profile over Xbox Live, and it was like the last thing, and it said either Underground or I think like Pro, and then 1 or 2 others.
Yeah, Pro was one of them.
Yeah, and it did absolutely nothing as far as I know.
I vaguely remember that, but not enough to like weigh in. I remember
always
though.
setting. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I just remember how big achievements were, man. Like for Gears of War in particular, I spent like 3 years going for the Seriously achievement, which I think was 10,000 kills in a ranked game mode. That was big for a while.
Wait, you spent like 3 years actually trying to go for it? Like that's what the goal was?
Yeah, passively. I wasn't spending like, what you did, 12 hours a day going for it or anything.
I did not do that. I don't know why you're claiming I did that. I never did that. I played in 2-hour increments pretty much.
Okay, yeah.
Over a span of 6 months maybe, whereas you apparently went for 3 years trying to get an achievement you apparently didn't even get. Did you unlock that achievement?
I did not, no.
That's even sadder then.
It was hard.
Well, Jackson, looking back now, do you even care that you 100%ed Assassin's Creed.
Oh, fuck yeah. Are you kidding me? You can't shut me up about it.
All right.
Do modern games even launch with achievements anymore?
Jesus, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Of course
yeah.
they do.
They do. I thought that some games just didn't even bother.
I wouldn't mind them if they didn't.
Maybe not AAA games, like yeah, obviously, but
No,
like,
every single game on the Xbox has to legally release with achievements.
or else they get sued, like legally.
Well, no, they just don't let them release on the platform.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Because I figured maybe even indie games by this point, for the most part, wouldn't give a shit. You know, well, actually, Steam has achievements too, don't they?
No, okay, so
Yeah.
nobody in the world gives a fuck about Steam
Ever.
achievements.
Ever cared about Steam
Yeah.
achievements?
I don't even know
Nobody
why
has
they
ever.
do it.
Because
Wow.
they saw the praise Xbox was getting for achievements and decided
Yeah.
to jump on that.
It's
guess.
kind of, I guess it's like a thing of like, well, why not? You may as well have the achievements if it doesn't change anything.
I mean,
or
it doesn't
matter.
hurt. It doesn't hurt
exactly.
having them there at
Yeah.
all. There's no negative.
You could have it for the like 10 people who care about it, and then everyone else can just ignore it. So,
I think there's still an active community of achievement hunters.
I mean, there's an active community of literally anything in the world.
Yeah, including shit eaters.
Yeah, there's a fucking ton for everything.
There may be some overlap there. We'll have to investigate.
I mean, if you spend 3 years trying to achieve like 10,000 kills, you're practically eating shit.
That's Charlie, not me. I would never do that.
Charlie's
It
still
would-
going for that achievement right now as we speak.
No, I think I'm gonna give up on that achievement. To be honest, boys.
Actually, that's a good idea. You should go back and try to get that achievement. Stream it.
I don't think there's
Yeah,
enough
that'd be
people
cute.
playing the game anymore.
Oh, if you tweeted out, "Hey, I'm playing Gears of War online. Everyone hop on." I guarantee you'd find people.
Yeah, you could just boost your way there.
Well, I'd have to get the 360 working, and I'm not doing that.
Oh, how difficult.
It is difficult. It's a primitive piece of
Almost an
technology.
achievement of itself.
Now, normally I'd
Xbox 360 to work.
Normally, I'd agree with you, Jackson. Oh, who cares? Getting a 360 to work. But those things were fucking notorious for breaking. So after all
in
these
the
years,
first like 6 months, the red rings, yeah.
and even beyond that, they would still fuck up and not turn on. I had 2 different ones break on me the entire time I had it. Those things were.
What do you guys think like the biggest blunder has been between like Sony and Microsoft with their consoles?
Microsoft forgetting that they should make games.
That's a good one. I'd say the PlayStation Vita in general.
Oh, I forgot about that piece of shit.
Yeah, that too.
PlayStation Vita actually had good games.
No, it was
good.
cool and
powerful.
it worked well, and it was able to pretty much perfectly even run PS3 games, but it just, I don't know, flopped. They didn't do a lot with it, and it wasn't very compelling to buy over a Nintendo handheld.
I was going to say Sony releasing the PlayStation 3 at like $600 or however much. they released that.
$599 US, exact
Yeah,
quote.
ridiculous. Whereas the Xbox 360, which
Sony-
released like 6 months earlier,
Sony
was like $400.
Yeah.
So for me, it's Sony dragging its feet for so long to let people crossplay. That actually made it this very
that's
big
another one.
difference for me in terms of what games I was buying on what platform. Because I was sitting there, I was genuinely thinking, okay, I can't just buy Minecraft on the PlayStation because I'm not going to be able to play with my friends who have it on their Switch. So they did fuck themselves out of money, in my opinion. Waiting so long.
Oh, they absolutely did. They absolutely did. What a great time to be alive now, though. Like, just full crossplay on nearly every game that matters for it. That's really nice.
It is, yeah. I'm excited for the PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox Series X, XL, whatever the fuck they're calling it now.
Is that their next gen, or is that something different? Because I thought the Xbox
No,
thing
it's
was
next
something-
gen. They're both
It
next
is?
gen, and and the specs are pretty fucking crazy too. Like really
What are
good.
the specs?
Oh, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to bore you.
Of course.
Yeah, it's not that he doesn't
How
know.
dare
it
you
just,
ask that, Charlie? What's wrong with you?
He doesn't want to bore you.
I
That's
didn't mean to ask a dumb question.
I believe the PlayStation 5 has 12 teraflops of GPU prowess, whereas the Xbox Series X has 14.
Ooh.
And both the SSDs are like incredible. Like you can load games just within a second. Like there's no loading anymore, according to Sony.
Yeah, so a lot of developers who've had early access, Sony, Xbox, you know, the engine developers, they're all saying that more than the teraflops or whatever the fuck, the SSDs are the big deal here because we're going to be able to stream
That's what I've heard as well.
all the content very fast. One of the most condescending things that I've ever saw, one of the most condescending tweets rather, is, so I'm sure all of you saw the Unreal Engine 5 demo that they released a couple weeks ago or a week ago. And one of the replies was just the words, I'm impressed, by some game developer, and it was so condescending to just go on. Are ya?
These game engine engineers they've spent the last 10 years refining their craft and making this engine for them, and then it's just, I'm impressed.
You pleased me.
It's like as if you're the sensei in all those karate movies where he goes, not bad. Yeah, okay, what the fuck did you make? I mean, I don't want to be condescending either and just put down their game, but just come on, that was pretty awesome. Just give them more adulation than that. Also, turns out, it is impressive.
That game engine looks fucking crazy.
Yeah, it turns out that billions of dollars buys the best programmers on the planet. Those guys are doing some good work.
I mean, Epic is pretty consumer friendly. They've done a lot for both developers and like just people playing their games.
They had a home run, man. They were good to begin with, even before Fortnite. But Fortnite was supposed to be this dumb little single player, right? But then people really flocked to the multiplayer, and it was this one home run that made them so much fucking money, even more so than before. And they were rich before. And now they just have so much money that they can hire the best programmers on the planet. And this is the results. It looks really good. It's fucking amazing. I'm excited.
It is amazing. You know what else is amazing?
Tell me.
Bespoke Post. That's because if your mailbox is anything like mine, 90% of the time it's pretty depressing. Political flyers, utility bills, unholy amounts of coupons. But once a month, I have a reason to be stoked. And that's because of the Box of Awesome from Bespoke Post. Bespoke Post sends guys only the best stuff every month. No matter what you're into, there's a Box of Awesome that presents to you the tools you'll need to get into it. Box of Awesome has a carefully built series of collections for every part of your life. If you want to get started with one, you can take the quiz at boxofawesome.com, and your answers will help you pick the right one for you. They release new boxes every month across tons of different categories. It's free to sign up, and you can skip a month or cancel anytime. Each box costs only $45, but has over $70 worth of gear inside. You guys might think, oh, this is little frumpy garbage that I'm never going to use. No, it's actual things for your life that you will use regularly. For example, I like to mix Pocari Sweat. It's a Japanese energy drink, and it's fucking delicious. And it turns out that one of the boxes of awesome is like a drink mixing kit, which comes with a giant jug and nice glasses for it, and just little tools if you're like a little stirrer and all this shit. Stuff that helps you mix drinks. If I wanted to mix cocktails, I could use the same stuff. But I'm lame, so I make energy drinks with it.
Well, what, in my opinion, sets it apart is unlike all the other loot boxes where you don't know what you're about to get. It's all random stuff. These guys actually send you things that you are interested in. You get to tell them, okay, I like this. Send me stuff that is related to my interests. And that's what you get. So it's not always just this crapshoot of, am I going to get a bunch of random useless crap that I'm not interested in? No, you're going to get crap that you're always interested in.
Yes, that's the big selling point for me. It's not just stuff that 90% of it you're going to throw in the trash. It's stuff that you will know that you want, or stuff that is of actual quality that you'll want. And you can get 20% off of your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and use code OFFICIAL at checkout. That's Box of Awesome. Code OFFICIAL. Boxofawesome.com for 20% off of your first box. I believe there's also I think I haven't opened it yet, but it's like a facial cleansing one as well with like shampoo and stuff.
Yep,
it's like
I have that one.
Yeah, it's just nice stuff that you're gonna buy anyway, so why not check it out? It's nice quality stuff at a discounted price bundled together.
And less of a risk of just not getting something that you don't like. That you like, sorry.
Yeah.
Did you say you're drinking Japanese sweat?
Pocari Sweat, yeah.
Is that what it's called?
It's a Japanese energy drink, and the name means absolutely nothing. They just thought it was a cool name to market to Westerners.
So why did you think it's cool to drink sweat?
I tasted it. I really liked the flavor, and now I just drink it every so often.
Do you like sake? That's Japanese wine, right?
Yeah,
I find it
Japanese rice
revolting.
wine.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because
I could see that. It does have kind of a vinegar taste to it, a little bit.
Not the one they
taste.
like spit.
it's the lack of a bite, you know? It doesn't have any taste of alcohol to it. So it goes down too smooth almost, and it just makes me sick in a way. I don't know why.
Weird complaint.
Yeah.
Kind of likes to feel pain when he drinks.
Not pain, but it just doesn't
You
feel
feel
like
reminded.
alcohol, yet you can tell it is alcohol, but it just doesn't taste right. And it's upsetting.
Andrew,
Yeah, go ahead.
is there a Japanese drink that Japanese people make by spitting rice? Is that what it is? Like, do they make it by spitting the rice or chewing the rice?
Where did you hear this?
Ew, is that what I
I saw
drank?
it in an anime.
That's sake?
I hope not.
Yeah, I can't remember which fucking anime it was, but I saw it in an animated movie.
Yes, because anime is real, Jackson. Yes.
That's what it is.
Well, it was Your Name. That's it. Your Name.
It's
It's
so
fuck.
good. That's a great
I love
movie.
that movie.
What
It's
is
one
this
of my favorite
headline?
fucking movies.
Hang on, so this headline says, sake used to be made with the saliva of virgins.
Yes, I was right. Fuck yeah. Take that, Andrew, you fucking nerd. Can't even get Japanese
Fuck.
facts right.
Fuck, you've poked a hole in my plot. Jesus.
Over the
I'm
years,
done for.
various religions have had booze hang-ups, while religions like Judaism, blah, 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 blah. Okay, they're going into the history of virgins. Who cares? What is...
Oh, I like the history of virgins.
Yeah, well, wait, what's the history of
Yeah,
virgins?
tell me about
Who started
virgins.
that?
No, it's like how religions like virgins and such. The same goes
the
for
boring
sex and
history.
virginity. The two intertwined topics are long discussed and debated, with many traditional religions concluding the same thing. Abstaining before marriage is a good thing. I don't care. Where's the part about the sake? So it's no wonder that because of sake's spiritual significance, only virgins were trusted to chew sake rice up and get it ready for fermentation. Oh.
See?
Hmm.
Wait, so maybe they still do it, but they've just opened the gates to anyone, not just virgins. Now
They're more
anyone can make
tolerant
sake.
now.
Yeah.
Aren't there... Isn't
You
there
could-
like a surplus of virgins in Japan anyway?
I don't think it's
Yeah,
like a
sake
surplus of
production
virgins.
through the roof.
I think it's just a lot of people that don't want to have sex.
Yeah, they're one of the few modern nations that has a population decline because so much of the young people just don't want to fuck each other and have
Are they
babies.
depressed?
That's part of it. Part of it is in their culture they see it as too much work or too much effort, and they don't want to bother like dating and going out, so they just don't.
Okay, so it's called
I can't blame them.
It's called Kuchikami no Sake, which translates to chewing in the mouth sake, was the product of a bunch of people chewing rice grains and spitting them into a big wooden vat. There, the masticated rice sat to brew for a few days. The enzymes in saliva helped turn starch into glucose, and yeasts living in the air transformed that glucose into alcohol. The result was kind of a solid sake paste that was eaten as opposed to drank. Huh. It also says that they literally only used to do this because they just didn't have other tools to mash grain. So they just chewed it and spit it.
So they don't still do it?
Presumably not. I'm sure you can still get like handmade, custom-made indie sake, I suppose, chewed by just the virginiest
Yeah.
virgin in Japan.
Yeah, virgin crafted sake.
You could make your own that way, Jackson.
Is that like, ooh, he called you a virgin?
Yeah, damn, you gonna take that, bro?
Yeah, that was a good one.
You could even
Andrew,
put the
I'll give you
marketing
that.
on
That
the
was
bottle
funny.
like 100% at all of the Assassin's Creed games, super virgin sake.
Extra potent.
Here's all the animes I've watched in preparation for this sake. I've not seen women
Taste
in
my
years.
virginity.
All right, then now it's too mean. Andrew, you're laughing too hard.
No,
At this.
I'm laughing at the idea of a like Japanese winemaker putting the list of animes the winemaker watched on the bottle just to sell it. This wine came from a fan of Dragon Ball Z. It has a Goku style flavor.
Ew.
It's the funniest shit in the world. Ugh.
Gotta really hope the one I drank wasn't spit. What's like the grossest alcohol, I wonder?
Like taste wise?
No, well, I guess that too, but like
In general,
production-wise.
Tequila.
probably moonshine.
Yeah.
Make it in a
yeah. Let's
fucking
be-
bathtub and let it sit.
What is
yeah.
moonshine? What's the
Pruno.
ingredients to moonshine?
Oh,
Pruno, I
Pruno's
guess.
definitely got to be up there. It's made with like fucking expired ketchup in toilets in a prison. It's got to be Pruno.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the fucking prison wine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably not
God,
fun.
that's disgusting.
Just mix it a
Have
little
you
bit
seen,
with virgin piss.
Have you seen Prison Cooking?
No.
No. What do you mean?
There's a couple like YouTube people who have done it and all this shit where they try to recreate recipes that people in prison make to spice up their food and shit. And it's just a ton of like you crush up chips and cover them in like ketchup and mayonnaise and shit.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is I wouldn't want to eat at prison. Not something I'd enjoy probably.
That would be an interesting show if they did like Gordon Ramsay visits a prison and he's got to spice up the kitchen in there
Yes!
with only the ingredients they have.
That is fucking brilliant. Right, so, Gordon Ramsay, all of these cooking shows that you watch, it's always, as a regular Joe Schmo, when you watch them, you're like, well, I don't have a fucking $5,000 oven. How the fuck am I supposed to do this? You schmuck, you fucking pampered, privileged bitch. Take Gordon Ramsay and put him in prison, and now make me a cake. Asshole. Let's see it. If you're really skilled.
That's one that always gets me. You'll be watching, I don't know, some fucking show and they'll be like, all right, if you want to make this recipe at home, just start with your largest wok. And I'm like, I don't have a wok. What the I can't even cook on a wok in my home. What are you talking about?
You must use only the finest alpaca butter. Okay, what? Where the fuck do you get that? What are you talking about?
If you can't get alpaca butter, then blue whale butter is a good substitute.
Right.
What the fuck do you want me to do here?
Yeah, let me just go back to SeaWorld and milk a whale. What? It just...
God.
Yeah, putting those people in prison would be fun. And just letting them... Just like Bear Grylls, too. Put them in that scenario, Put Gordon Ramsay and Bear
Well, he has
Grylls...
to survive in prison.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, he doesn't even cook. He just has to survive being in prison.
Yeah. By day 3, he's drinking prisoner's urine.
I'm still disappointed at the rumors that pretty much everything about Bear Grylls just was faked. That kind of disillusion.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Not
real.
everything.
I thought it was obvious.
It
A
was,
lot
so
of
here's the thing. It's not that it was totally fake for everything. It's just a lot of the danger or the expose was staged. Like they would purposely put him in situations where, so like let's say he had to get down a cliff like to the base to go to camp or something, and he'd be like, I could walk along this very safe, obviously carved trail, but now I'll show you how to rappel down it with only one piece of slack line. And it's like, you don't have to do that. Okay.
I don't, they should have just gone as far as possible with these shows, like thrown Bear Grylls into like an ISIS death camp and see how he escapes. There's no way they could possibly fake that.
Well. Yeah, but also, that would be killing your investment, literally. You're not getting a second episode out of that
they
one.
want to keep him safe and around for other shows. I mean, there was that one episode, I don't know if you guys saw it, but he had to cross like a little chasm. Like I don't remember. He was in like a canyon or something and there was a big gap and he was like, I'm going to have to get across it using this gear and the balance and the blah, blah, blah. And he did some like fucking survivor person shit. And then some guy found the actual exact location where they filmed it. And it turns out if he just walked a good number of feet away, he could just step across it because it closed up. Just no problem whatsoever. So they definitely like try to spice the show up, which I mean, it's television. They're going to do that.
Yeah, why would you believe anything on television?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
produced.
speaking of that, did you guys ever see I Want to Marry Harry? It was an old Fox show where they got like a bunch of girls together and convinced them that this Harry impersonator was the real Prince Harry and that he was there to fall in love with them.
Really?
That's hilarious.
Well, it was fucking awesome. I watched the entire thing on stream once. It was really good. And
Wait, so it was a fake Harry?
yeah, so it wasn't the real Prince Harry, but he looked just like him. So
Oh, that would have been a great
Did
twist at the
he-
end if it actually was Harry.
That's
Did he
what I
like
wanted.
talk just like him and all that shit too? Was it
Yeah.
like, oh
yeah.
wow,
Like it was a good impersonator, and I thought it would have been cool at the end if he like lifted off this mask and it really was like actual Harry. I thought that would have been cool as fuck. But anyway, the show, like it seems like it'd be something that was faked, but apparently it wasn't. They like brainwashed the women into 100% believing that they were about to be royalty by winning this game show because they were about to be with Prince Harry. So for like, I don't remember how long they were there for, but I think it was like 2 weeks. They'd like set everything up even outside of the production to prove that it was the real Harry, like subtle clues and shit until they eventually drew their own conclusion like holy fuck. So not everything's fake, but you know, a lot of it is. Sometimes
So
How are you sure that's not? How are you sure that's not fake?
Because the woman who won it, Kimberly, actually reached out to me on Instagram.
saying
Well,
what?
that's- So here's
could
the
be going to
thing.
extraordinary lengths to still fake it.
Here's-
like they've
here's-
hired
here's the
this
thing,
woman to
Jackson.
Instagram
I
you.
think you're getting too I don't know, perplexed by the mystery of what is and isn't fake. Reality shows
What?
aren't completely fake. It's their doctored reality. They're presented in a specific way and edited and all that shit.
Well, in my opinion, even if 1% of it's faked, it's fake.
Yeah, well,
I
that
don't
goes for
believe-
everything, though.
That's why I like documentaries and like mockumentaries about morbidly obese people, like My 600-Pound Life. You can't fake that. That's not a fat suit. All of those people are real and they exist. So it's like one genre of those types of shows where you know this isn't staged. Nobody fattened this person up just for the cameras. They just found him.
Yeah, well, one element of that show is not fake with them being fat, but maybe like a whole bunch of other elements are extremely fake.
Yeah, like
they-
setting up
That's
a
the only
glamorized-
element.
yeah,
Yeah.
it
There's no
depends.
other
It depends
elements.
on the.
Well,
It depends on the show. I mean, some shows like the reality is just, hey, here's a person in their life and a documentary style thing, and probably not a lot of that is fake. But if you have shit like, I don't know, the fucking Real World, which is kind of funny, there's probably a bunch of doctored scenarios and shit that they script and want to, you know, push and push. Because it's all producers wanting to make a good show. So they go, did you guys see the clip where it was Snooki on what the fuck, the Jersey Shore, and they instigated her starting a bar fight because they just started splashing water on her over and over again?
No.
No.
It was this whole thing on the Real World, or what the fuck, her Jersey Shore, where she was at a fucking bar in Miami or something, and they wanted her to start throwing beer bottles everywhere and alcohol bottles, but she just wouldn't do it, and she was drunk. So eventually people working on the show just started throwing water at her, like cups of water, until eventually she got pissed and started doing it.
Like she's a
And
fucking
then they
animal.
edited it so it looked like, well, they edited it so it looked like she just naturally was like being a bitch, and then eventually started tossing bottles.
what if they pushed her too far and she like smashes a wine bottle in half and like slits someone's throat?
Yeah.
Then you get a cool
Yeah.
show, I guess.
But that's the whole point of it. Like it's not entirely fake, but it's definitely directed. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like they pushed them
set
in a
up.
direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And also the
Well,
way
it's still
the
fake
way they
then.
edit it do that is you can take a conversation on a reality show, and just by changing the background music and the timing in which people speak, you can make it a serious conversation or a funny conversation or a sad conversation, even though what they're saying is the same thing in every single shot.
Plus,
It's all just directing.
most of the time, you really don't have to hire actors to act as if they are sad, pathetic, lonely douchebags. There's plenty of people like that who are more than willing to have a camera follow their lives. Willing to sign up.
Yeah. That's also true.
Yeah, Twitch.
Charlie,
Right.
I'm gonna branch off your Prince Harry thing. Do you remember the Joe Schmo show?
It sounds so familiar, and I've definitely heard of it, but I don't remember it.
I think about it a lot. It's one of my favorite concepts ever for a reality show. It was a like rip off of Big Brother and those like you're in a house and have to do challenge shows. And the gimmick of it was one guy was real and everyone else was an actor, and they would just fuck with him the entire show.
That's kind of silly. Yeah, that's
It
kind of
was
good.
I loved it. And then at the end they just reveal one by one that they're actors, and he just loses his shit. It was a really good show. At one point they do the eating challenge from Fear Factor where you have to eat like exotic foods. And like just because they're fucking with him, his food or one of the actresses' food challenges is she has to eat literal dog shit. It was a great show. And so like of course she like starts freaking out and losing her mind, and Joe's like, what the fuck kind of show is this? It was a great show. I recommend people check it out.
Like a great show.
It sounds pretty fucking awesome, yeah. Do you remember on Fear Factor when they had to eat or drink horse semen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty wild stuff.
They also had to do, what was it, elk penis and testicles? That was a good one.
I don't remember that one. Well, speaking of shit and, you know, shit stains, do you want to talk about MeUndies?
Probably not the best transition for them.
No, I was just thinking of ass, and, you know, underwear.
Well, if you're
booties going in underwear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get you.
Well, if you folks at home are thinking about underwear, then you may have heard of MeUndies before. They're pretty much in every podcast. But besides that, they're on this podcast, and they're literally designed for comfort and self-expression. So whether you opt for solid black or unicorns, you'll do it all as you're comfortable as a cuddly kitten. MeUndies are made from soft, sustainable fabric and are available in sizes from extra small to 4XL. MeUndies has a great offer as well for anyone listening to this show. You can get 15% off and free shipping with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. And that's by going to MeUndies.com/official. Every human being on the planet, for the most part, except for some small exceptions, wears underwear. And I wear MeUndies. And Charlie wears MeUndies. And Kaya wears MeUndies. And Jackson wears MeUndies. We all actually do wear MeUndies. They're super comfy, and there's a huge variety of them. So you'll find exactly the ones that you want to put on your butt. And you can do that by going to MeUndies.com/official for 15% off your first order with free shipping and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Try them. Why not? You need underwear. I don't care if you have a bunch already. You will always need underwear. Why not get the ones you want?
Yes. And comfy ones. And did you guys know that MeUndies also protect you from sorcery? This is a headline from the Register.
Is that an actual guarantee you can make at the moment?
Yeah, are we done with the ad? Do we have to specify?
Because in
All
Congo...
right, so disclaimer, this was not told to us by MeUndies.
Yeah.
Let's just be careful.
But it makes sense.
Yes, disclaimer, MeUndies does not believe in sorcery. This is from the Register. Congo lynch mobs attack penis-snatching sorcerers. Police in the Democratic Republic of Congo earlier this week cuffed their own protection 13 suspected sorcerers accused of using black magic to steal or shrink men's penises. The arrest comes after a wave of panic swept the capital Kinshasa last week, provoked by rumors that the unwary might be relieved of their todgers and fueled by todgers. Is that a word for junk? For penis?
Yeah, it is.
I haven't heard that one before.
Me neither.
Wait, you've never? I'm pretty sure it's British.
I've never heard Todgers.
And fueled by radio reports advising listeners to beware of fellow passengers wearing gold rings. The cops also detained 14 victims of the spam javelin lifters. Is that a word for penis, Jackson?
I've never heard that one, so that's new to me. Spam. What? Say it again.
Spam javelin. I guess not.
What the fuck does that even? I can't even picture that.
Yeah.
Spam javelin.
Well, they claimed that sorcerers simply touch them to make their genitals shrink or disappear, apparently in an attempt to extort cash with the promise of a cure. According to
you would think that you would immediately notice if your penis was gone.
Not necessarily.
Maybe the temperature's just cold.
Well, wait a minute. Why can't they just go to the police and drop their pants and prove it?
They have. So there's been.
And the police believe them?
So they say there's been a number of attempted lynchings, and some police chief I'm tempted to say it's one huge joke, but when you try to tell the victims that their penises are still there, they tell you that it's become tiny or that they've become impotent. To that I tell them, how do you know if you haven't gone home and tried it?
He has to go watch them fuck their wives.
There's only one way to settle this.
Elaine Kalala, who sells phone credits near a Kinshasa police station, confirmed to Reuters, "It's real. Just yesterday here, there was a man who was a victim. We saw. What was left was tiny."
Oh, that poor man. Wait, so how did they know he had a big dick before that?
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Has he been walking around like one of those before and after shots, just flashing people his dick, like just in case I get attacked by a sorcerer?
This would be the perfect. Yeah, this would be the perfect time if you've always just had a tiny dick just to come out and blame someone else for your own inadequacies.
And have them lynched. Apparently they killed 12 people over this rumor that they're sorcerer.
Good God. It's the new Salem witch trials.
Yeah, well,
I can't believe that shit still exists. That's
Now,
crazy.
would you boys take, another part of this is probably like, you know, attention or fame, where they're like, I'm the guy who had his dick shrunk by a wizard or whatever. Would you take national fame if it was over your tiny dick?
no way. Why? No, why the fuck would I do that? Like,
Because then you'd be famous.
I don't want fame anyway.
I don't want that
right.
kind of fame.
Regardless. I don't.
That's a good point.
Here's a guy
I
with
feel
the
there's people out
incredibly tiny, shrunk, almost disappeared penis. Look at him.
I'll bet you there's people out there
Yeah.
where if you told them they'd be guaranteed international fame by screaming they had a tiny dick and telling everyone they had a tiny dick, they'd do
well,
it.
yeah, I'm sure there are people that would do that.
Maybe if I had a tiny dick and I was comfortable with it, then maybe.
How are you
Like
comfortable?
if you already like. Yeah, I don't know.
Is that a record anyone is holding, like world's smallest penis?
Probably.
Guinness recognizes...
It's got to be an inverted.
Oh, well, apparently. Guinness recognizes man with the world's smallest penis. A Miami man, Mike Carson, has been officially recognized by Guinness World Records for having the smallest penis. According to Carson and his doctors, his fully functioning penis is only a 16th of an inch. The smallest for a fully grown adult male.
No.
How long is that?
Is
in
there a
millimeters?
picture of it?
That's soft.
No, there's no picture in the article.
Is that soft?
Fully functioning is the key word there. How does he masturbate?
There's no way you. How do you even like touch a 16th of an inch?
With like
Jesus.
tweezers. You gotta jerk it off with tweezers.
No,
For a
well,
long
I guess
time-
maybe.
He says well, I doubt he masturbates. If he doesn't, maybe he just rubs it like clitoris. For a long time, I was very...
Does he finger himself? Yeah.
For a long time, I was very embarrassed by my penis, but now I pretty much just go with it, said Carson. I'm 29 now, and I've had girls who have come up to me after they found out about it and said they just had to try it out. So I can't even tell you how many women I've been with because of it. Carson says that he was picked on in
Wow.
high school locker rooms for years because most of his classmates thought he might actually be a girl.
Oh.
For a
How
long
do you
time, it
try
got so
out-
bad. For a long time, the teasing got so bad that I thought I might be a girl too. Holy shit, this is some mind-bending, gender-bending.
It's like the plot of a hentai.
Yeah.
I just
He didn't get to choose this.
I went to
This was
Google to
by
visualize a
choices.
16th of an inch, and it's
Yeah.
even smaller than I thought. Holy fuck!
I think he might be talking himself up, because how does a woman try out a 16th of an inch penis? What do you even do with it?
Yeah, there's nothing there. So like looking at a 16th of an inch on a ruler, it is almost on zero.
She wants to go try it out, and he just ends up fingering her and whatever. Like it's just a normal fingering. That's it.
Well, they're
There's
like-
nothing new or exciting. There.
I guess at that point, you just have to scissor, right?
Yeah, you'd have to.
Would
There's
that
nothing
even work?
else.
This is unfat. So does it get bigger when he's hard? Did he say?
No, it
Maybe he's a
doesn't.
super grower and it hits like 2 inches when he's hard.
Yeah, it just fucking pops out at like 12
It
inches. It's
explodes.
enormous.
He slapped women in the chin with it at Mach 5.
You know those fucking chemical experiments
That
where
speed
like
of
a
light.
gigantic pool noodle grows out of a little petri dish? Maybe it's like those.
Yeah.
Like the little dinosaurs that you get wet and then they expand in the microwave.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a photo, but there isn't one, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of want to see it.
I couldn't find a photo. I just looked it up, which is why I ended up just looking at a
You need
16th
like an
of an inch.
atomic fucking, what do you call it? What do you call those things that you look through and then small things become larger?
Ah, microscopes.
Yes, thank you. Jesus.
God, I hate every website. You just literally cannot do anything in real time anymore. Just you get 10 fucking pop-ups. Whatever. I can't find anything. Pretty sure I just got a virus. Close that.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah. Apparently, Brooklyn has a contest every year for the smallest penis.
Really?
Yeah, there is a
Why every
smallest
year?
penis in Brooklyn contest every year.
Wow, that's got to be the worst contest ever.
Yeah, but you're a winner.
True.
Fulbright. Oh my god, no, I don't want notifications. Fulbright scholar who won smallest penis contest. I'm so happy. Arya. Really?
Finally.
That is the
Participants
one thing I didn't expect out of his mouth.
Participants
Go
in
ahead,
Brooklyn's
sorry.
smallest penis contest came out swinging Saturday, giving men who usually get the shaft a chance to flaunt their teeny weenies in their tidy whities. Rajiva Gupta, a Fulbright scholar from India, was crowned the winner of the... Ugh, these fucking puns.
God, these puns are so fucking bad.
The winner of the second annual sausage show, held at Bushwick Kings County Bar. Doesn't really even say his size. Well, I guess all of this makes me feel better.
Yeah. Great pick me up.
Yeah.
I can't think of fucking topics that don't have to do with the virus.
I actually haven't thought of any topics with the virus in a while now.
Yeah, it's
Like
pretty
we've
much
gone
over.
almost a month. Yeah, we've gone like a full
Yeah.
month without anything virus related. So what?
That's true.
Yeah, kudos to
Society's
us.
still like shut down though, so nothing's happening.
Not really, we're
It's
opening
slowly
up. Germany is
starting to
open up.
go back. Yeah. I don't know if it should though. I think it's too early.
Pretty much everything here is back open up. Oh well, let's keep it rolling. No virus talk. Twitter's gonna
Okay.
allow you to not reply to tweets anymore, so that's, I guess, something that's is
What
that
is- what do you
interesting?
mean by that?
Wait,
what?
Twitter's going
Are
to
you
allow you
is
not
it
to
mandatory to
Yeah.
reply to tweets you get? What are you talking about?
No, but you know how people get ratioed? Like when they have just a ridiculous take. I guess to help those people not get ratioed, when they say something like "kill all men" and
Wait,
abort
what does
males.
ratioed mean?
When you get more replies
More-
than likes,
Yeah.
and you look
Usually
ridiculous,
that's Twitter's way of showing that people dislike what you said.
yeah, that you're being a dum-dum. And Twitter now made it so if you're authoring a tweet, if you're about to tweet, it gives you the option to disallow people from replying to your tweet. So you can just make
Then
a
what the
statement.
fuck is the point of Twitter? At that point, it's just a platform where people just post what they're thinking. Who cares? That isn't the entire point of
That's already
social
what it
media.
is.
Well, no, isn't the entire point of social media to be social?
Well,
What's
people
the
are
point?
still...
Here's just a
don't
collection
think
of
Twitter's
things. Here's my
social.
public diary, basically. By that point,
well,
that's
people,
stupid.
for them, it's not...
That's what Twitter is, though.
It's still not going far enough for them, though. So I saw one tweet complaining that, well, people can still quote tweet the tweet. They can still screenshot it and comment on it. What's the point? It's not far enough.
What do you want? A social media where you have no interaction with anyone else ever?
Yes, Andrew, that's what they
Yes.
want.
Then start a live journal. Fuck.
That's a
They
good
only
point.
want
Does that
likes.
still exist?
Oh God, that's pathetic.
Does LiveJournal still
Oh,
exist?
Delete Twitter.
I don't think it's pathetic. I think it's justice. Now, no one has to feel bad about being dumb.
Charlie, what was your live journal mood? Was it contemplative?
I don't quite remember, to be honest with you, Andrew.
Why?
Do you-
What's LiveJournal?
Why
Do you
is
remember
LiveJournal
that?
Russian?
That's it
It
is.
probably got bought.
Yeah, on my page right here, just all I'm seeing is Russian articles. Fuck.
Apparently, it was always Russian.
Andrew, maybe you'll remember.
Yeah.
I've never been able to remember this website, but in high school it was kind of big, where it was kind of like a journal, but everyone would just use it to shit on someone. So they'd just go there and talk some shit, and it'd be like anonymous, and they could see when you were talking shit to someone. It was like,
So,
Yik yak.
MySpace.
no, not Yik Yak. It was like a public journal where people would post some shit, and then people would talk shit about it to them on that same website.
I don't know, sounds like every
Uh,
website.
No, it had
Yeah.
like a name like like Apple or some shit. Well, probably not Apple. Fuck. It's been driving me crazy for years because it was huge in high school, but I don't remember at all what it was now.
I don't think I've heard of it.
Do you have any other defining features?
No, just that you could post like kind of like statuses, but it was mainly only used so people could talk shit to you.
Like roast you?
Yeah,
for
but not
that?
like fun roasting, just being like a general asshole, like hating you publicly to your face.
Then why would you
4chan?
post it?
People are saying
There it is,
Formspring.
Formspring. I think that's what it was.
Is that like Ask FM?
No, I don't know what Ask FM is.
Oh god, isn't AskFM that like
It's-
the curiouscat.me or whatever, where people make their own FAQs and answer questions?
Oh,
Yeah,
Formspring. Oh, yeah. That was where you would make a profile and people could just ask you questions.
That's yeah.
That's exactly what Ask FM is.
Oh.
Yeah. What I never get
Wait, so there's just a whole bunch of these sites?
I never get
I
the point
remember
of
this now.
AskFM where some absolute nobody with 20 followers on Twitter has an AskFM as if anyone like why? Who gives a fuck?
So what is Ask FM?
It's
The
high
same
school
shit,
shit.
where you just
Yeah,
you make
Yeah.
a profile.
Anonymous people send you questions and then you answer the question and it shows up on your profile.
Wow, it's got over 200 million users. Holy shit!
Holy fuck, really? That's nuts.
I've never even heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was big during high school.
It's like exclusively used by the Tumblr types who just, the exact kind of person whom you wouldn't ever really want to ask a question to, because who cares?
Yeah. To give it credit on why that is though, Tumblr has the same exact feature where if you have a account, people can like message you questions and you can answer them
Anonymously.
publicly.
Yeah, and what happened is that
Yeah.
primarily people just use it to bully themselves for victim points. You guys remember that study where they found out that teenagers were bullying themselves for attention, sending themselves death threats and such.
That sounds about right.
That's adorable. I remember back in my day when you actually would get bullied.
Yeah, does
Actually,
anyone
on
get
the-
bullied anymore?
You guys remember when bullying meant like something physical, like getting your ass kicked and not a mean tweet? Remember those days? It's kind of quaint now.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever had your ass kicked, like in terms of bullying, like actually been physically bullied?
No.
Once or twice, not badly. Not as bad as some other people.
Were you the one physically bullying?
No,
Kaya?
I've never physically
Did you
hurt.
Have you ever?
Nah.
Okay.
I've been mean, verbally.
Kaya, were you a bully in school?
No, not physically. I'm sure I was a little shithead to some people, but it's evened out, I think. I was never like the give me your lunch money kind of guy. But
I can
again,
totally imagine you
still
doing
though-
that too.
I could imagine you like that.
Yeah.
that is though the era where I grew up, where that is what we meant by bullying. It literally meant, three guys corner another kid in the bathroom and they beat the shit out of him. They make him drink toilet water or something. Not
Yeah, but
I've
getting your
never
ass-
seen any of that.
Getting your ass
Yeah.
kicked doesn't hurt as much as mean words on Twitter. Bullying
Yeah.
is so much more brutal now.
I've never seen any of that, like actual physical bullying.
Yeah.
Maybe a kid gets shoved once in a while. But
I only ever saw it in cartoons and shit growing up.
Yeah.
I never actually saw that at
like
any school I went
swirlies
to.
and wet willies and stuff. I never actually saw people doing that.
I'm sure it happens. I mean, if you go on, there's certain subreddits and there's certain websites where you see these videos where kids record each other fighting in the bathroom, bullying each other and shit. And then every once in a while, there's the kind of video where we all cheer because the kid finally stands up to his bully and turns out he's stronger than his bully and kicks the bully's ass. Those kind of, justice porn, fuck yeah. That kind of stuff. I mean, so it definitely does still happen, but that is bullying. Let's focus on that, not the shit where some bitch says something stupid on Twitter and then all of a sudden her next tweet is, oh my god, muting my replies, this harassment. I'm getting death threats. Sure you are.
I remember a video over here in Queensland when I was in high school of like a fat kid was getting bullied.
Yep, I was
And he
just gonna
turned
bring that
around
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys know this one where
Yes.
he actually picks up
Yeah.
the bully and fucking body slams
kinda
him.
sad,
I'm
isn't it?
sure,
I
like,
was gonna bring that up because my favorite videos in that category are when it's a clear mismatch and it's like, what are you doing? Don't pick on the guy 3 times your size. What the fuck
yeah,
is wrong
don't
with you?
poke the sleeping bear. Jesus.
So
Yeah.
that guy though, Jackson, the kid that slammed that bully, The bully
Yeah, I think
and his
you're-
parents actually spun the narrative to the point where the guy that stood up for himself was framed as the bad guy in media.
That's
What the
always that's what
fuck?
I hate the most is
Yeah.
you know, so that kid that does that, right? For the first time in his life, he finally fights back, which is healthy, which is a good thing to do. Not just, physically, he's not going to get bullied, but also for his confidence. That's like part of the healing process to know that you're not going to be the victim all the time. But then every time the school acts as if the two are equally wrong. Like when you say he started
It's
it.
that zero tolerance bullshit.
Yeah,
It is.
In America,
I-
we have zero tolerance, and that's what
I
it
hate
does.
how
It's so fucking dumb.
I hate how the sentence "he started it" has been stigmatized so much, even though it is a good excuse. Why is that not a good excuse? He attacked me. He started it. I was right in defending myself.
Because teachers
You want
are
to know
lazy and
the
they want
saddest
zero
part, Kaya?
tolerance.
You want to know the saddest part? There's absolutely no concept of self-defense in schools.
Yeah,
So
zero
it-
tolerance.
Yeah, that's
So
the
if I'm
ridiculous
a
part.
student, and a bully comes up to me and starts punching the shit out of me, just like hitting me in the
You have to
fucking
take
face,
it.
I have to
somehow
just
run away.
just flat out like protect myself. If I fight back or try to get him off me or any of that, I'm accused of fighting and I also
You know
get
what?
suspended.
Even if you just protect yourself, still being like in that fight situation is probably enough to get you in trouble. So they could just walk up to you and fucking
Yeah.
start beating you up, and a teacher will see it and classify that as a fight.
Yeah.
And then you both get like, detention or
And
whatever.
also the fucking teachers also can't like act like human beings. My mom, I don't know if I mentioned on the show, she was a school teacher for like 20 years in different grades in high school and elementary and all that shit. She had a colleague who was teaching, I think, a 7th grade class. And one of the kids was super, super disruptive. And he was like, calling school security, like, get him out of my class. He's being an
Did
asshole.
your
this
mum
and that.
body slam him?
Well, no, one of the yeah, she fucking broke
Tombstone
his
pile
neck.
drivers.
But one of the kids, so he was being a shit, and like the teacher called security, like, get him out of my class. He's being disruptive, just being an asshole. And he walked up and he started fucking punching the teacher, just flat out trying to like kick his ass and like slapping him in the face and all this shit. So the teacher, in a reaction to defend himself, pushed him away a little bit. Like, get the fuck off me. Like he was slapping him in the face, knocked his glasses off and shit. The teacher got fired. Just immediately that day was fired just for trying to get the kid off of him.
Yeah, that's
Because
just.
you're not allowed to touch a kid in any way.
That's what that sounds like. Standard
And it's
procedure
like
these
a
days.
7th, 8th grade kid isn't exactly like a small child.
No, there's a lot of videos
It's-
like that,
you
man.
know?
It's infuriating. A fucking whatever. Any boy who's like older than 14, yeah, he's gonna kick the shit out of his 60-year-old teacher 9 times out of 10, unless that teacher is like a retired Navy SEAL or some shit. Like an old lady, a 70-year-old teacher, yeah, she's gonna get her ass kicked. But if she so much as puts her hands up, it's all of a sudden it's her fault and she gets suspended. And the kid is the victim, just like Charlie said, that fucking piece of shit in Queensland, wherever Jackson said it was. Yeah, he was on TV with his dad, and you could tell that they were the, what do you call them, Jackson? The bogans? The hooligans? Whatever the hell?
Bogans.
Bogans.
Yeah, like, they had half their teeth missing. You can smell the alcohol through the screen, but somehow their kid was the victim. Even though he initiated and he just got his comeuppance.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's extremely sad. They
Whatever,
just don't
man,
case
just-
by case basis it. They just want to apply blanket rules so they don't have to like actually try. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, so that exactly.
All those kids out there being bullied in school and don't have like an option for recourse or anything.
Literally just
Yeah,
watch the
fucking dumb.
video.
Like
Fuck me. I mean,
they try the teachers and shit just try to like they demand that you come to them like immediately to report bullying, but then nothing is done about it
Yeah.
ever.
That's the other fucking thing that's hilarious.
ineffective.
Like it's apparently a zero tolerance policy where it's like, oh, I saw you push him away, you're getting suspended. But when it comes to like the words and the mental stuff, they don't do jack shit. Like, excuse me, teacher, Ricky over there, he was really making fun of me and he was saying stuff about my family and how he was gonna hurt me and all this stuff. And the teacher's like, I don't give a shit. Fucking
Come
who
back when your
cares?
fucking
Leave me
teeth is-
alone.
knocked
Yeah.
down and shit.
Yeah, they
And
don't do
that's-
anything. They don't do preventative measures at all. They just wait till something happens and then they go, all right, everyone's in trouble. Like, fuck it. God,
And then
it's upsetting.
Yeah, that really is that mentality, isn't it? Because there'll be one or two shitheads in the class, and the teacher punishes the whole class because of it, because they're just too lazy to really nitpick and do the homework of like detecting who's the shithead. And yet at the same time, you have these these schools. They don't step in when a kid is getting bullied. They wait until the kid has to stand up for himself, at which point they punish the kid. And then you have these hyper-reactive schools where, I'm sure you've all heard those stories where like a kid chews his cookie into the shape of a gun and he gets suspended and sent home. Or like
Yep.
Remember that one? Or the little girl, I think, who like pointed her finger at a teacher or something, or like she made a finger gun and pointed it at someone and she got suspended. Or there was like a video just 1 or 2 months ago of a cop coming into the school and handcuffing a little 5-year-old girl. Now, what are you doing?
Over what? What the fuck did she have?
She was being rowdy or something.
Was she drunk?
She was belligerent.
What the fuck?
She failed the Beth
She
and
was
Brother
slurring
officer.
at the teacher. Yeah.
Video shows officer handcuffing 6-year-old girl at school. I mean, why? It's a little child. And then they took her to the
deserved it.
police station. I don't want to play the whole video. It's a visual, but
It's like extreme timeout.
So he handcuffs her. She's crying for her mom. He puts her in the police car. She's crying for her mommy. They take her to the police station, fingerprint her, and take her mugshots of a 6-year-old. What are you gonna do? Put her in Arkham Asylum? What are you gonna do? It's a child. Let's take her toys away. Put her in timeout. You call the cops?
Wait, did they put her? Did they put her in like the common cells or anything, like with hardened murderers and shit? Like people waiting for their actual crimes to be sentenced and all that kind of stuff. Did they put her in with them? Like, what happened after that?
I don't know. I hope not. I hope they didn't just toss her in the drunk tank for 3 days while she's starving there.
Wait,
it says in a police report.
You can't be arrested as a 6-year-old unless
that's
you
where
like
you're
murder
wrong.
someone.
They did. As she walked outside, she wails, "Please let me go. I don't want to go into the police car. Help me, please help me." In a police report, authorities said police were responding to a report that the 6-year-old had, quote, battered 3 staff members by kicking and punching them.
Oh no, take her down. Get the stun gun.
Call
How silly would
911.
you feel, Kaya?
How
Get the
victims are
tear
being
gas.
brought out
We
on
have to
body
stop this
stretchers into
monster.
the ambulance.
Yeah, how
the
fucking
way-
silly would you feel, Kaya, if they released photos of the school after her rampage? It's like mangled corpses and blood on the walls.
She's got
missing
glowing
an
red
arm.
eyes and she's floating in the air a little bit.
Yeah,
And I remember
you
the
feel
story too
pretty
because
silly then.
it then came out that the officer who did the arrest, it turns out that he had a history of domestic abuse and abusing his own child. So nice work. Great work.
So that the 7-year-old got to arrest him.
Who had
That's what would be fair.
he put zip ties around her wrists as she
What the
cried to
fuck?
be let go.
Wait, that's not actual operating procedure. Are you sure this police officer didn't just have a grudge against the
Are you
6-year-old?
sure he was a police officer and not just a guy who came in with a cop outfit?
Just a pedophile with a fetish. He's like, I'm here to dole out some justice. We didn't even call 911. Yes, you did. Wee woo. Here's the siren. Where's the kid?
His police car was just a Honda Civic with the word police painted on the side.
He
Police
comes up on a tricycle.
to serve free candy inside. Protect.
God. Like I just don't fathom this. I understand. Let's say the kid is totally out of control and flipping his shit and
If the
flailing
kid
and
brings
kicking.
like a loaded gun to school,
Yeah, or
something,
if he's holding like something as a weapon, or he brings a weapon or whatever, fine. Maybe put some zip ties on him just to like, restrain him. But don't put him in a fucking cop car and take him to jail. That's way too much.
That's a lesson that they will never forget, though.
Taking mugshots and shit. It's a 6-year-old. You can pick her up. Not if you can pick someone up, they're not that big of a threat. If they're not unarmed, if they're like 6 years old, at 6 years old, she barely has any coordination to begin with. What's she gonna do? Karate you?
You have to tase her first.
Right.
Little do we know she was the leader of the Los Santos Kings.
Fucking
Turns out by
hardened.
arresting,
She's a hardened crib.
Several
arresting
teardrop
her,
tattoos.
they just like prevented a huge gang war now that they have her off the streets.
Hey, that was pretty good. Hardened crib. I like that.
She's arrested. Oh, and they charged her too. It's not even that it was to teach a lesson. They actually did charge her.
Wait, what did they charge her with then?
Getting
Battery.
I
arrested.
don't think you can
Assault
charge
and
a
battery.
6-year-old with. You can't. What?
Yep.
Can you charge a 6-year-old
They
with
just
adult
did.
crimes? That is, yeah.
How the fuck
I'm glad
do you
they got her
even-
off the streets.
How do you even respond to that? Jesus Christ.
With applause. Finally, lessons are being taught.
Mm.
Finally, justice.
God bless America. Ugh. Well, should we wrap?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can wrap if you boys are ready.
Mm-hmm.
Take it away, Andrew.
All right. Well, thank you out there for listening to this episode of the official podcast. You got to do it in your car or maybe on a jog or, I don't know, hanging
about a
out at your
hot air
house.
balloon?
There's millions of places on earth you could be right now listening to this show, but you chose to listen to the show wherever you are. So thank you. If you want to listen to us on other platforms, we are on iTunes and Spotify, Apple Podcast, all that good stuff. And you can also check out our Patreon at patreon.com/theofficialpodcast for $5 bonus episodes and other nice little niceties. And I think that's all I have to say. Jackson, did I miss anything?
Not at all.
All right.
Yeah, thank you for listening. We appreciate it.
We'll
Yeah,
see
thanks,
you next
everyone.
We'll see you
week.
next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Just to blame for mass shootings. It's like, it's so fucking dumb. And it just makes me think, how are these people in positions of power? Like, there's just this massive dissonance. And you know what? It's our time to revolt.
What does a dissonance mean? Why are you laughing? What the fuck? Oh,
Fed, just give me your vote, okay?
Gamers rise up and then find out that the gamers are just fed.
I saw Bernie Sanders streaming on Twitch apparently,
Whoa!
but like it's not like him playing Fortnite with a webcam or some shit. It's like someone live streaming his rally. But I want to see Bernie Sanders stream Fortnite or TFT.
Hell yeah, dude!
I will get everyone I know to vote for him if he plays a game.
Really? Aw.
I
Bernie's
will
such a cutie.
consider it.
Smart.
like
Voting
to
for
play
Bernie
Fortnite.
Sanders.
Hmm?
Well, I mean, I'm Canadian. I can't even vote anyway.
Wait, do you vote for your Canadian?
In what, Scara? Go finish that.
Your Canadian Prime Minister,
Oh my god.
Justin Trudeau, the current and 23rd Prime Minister in the 2015 Canadian election. He is of the right honorable style. Yeah, that's all the Wikipedia told me at the very beginning.
wait, can someone actually tell me what dissonance means? I can't fucking look it up.
I'll get you this.
I'll look it up.
Lily will tell you.
Dissonance, a lack of harmony among musical notes, or a tension or clash
What does
resulting
voting
from
have
the
to do with music?
from the combination of two disharmonious or unsuitable elements.
I'm
Oh,
talking about the massive difference between like what the older generation thinks and what we think, and not just the older generation, but also people in power.
for sure, dude.
That's like a great example of like
Get
the
me the fuck out of here!
older generation looks at people like Fed and they're just like, God, we really can't help them. They
Guys,
need,
I'm curious.
they
Well,
need
I'm
us.
trying
You know,
to-
fucking
Oh,
Fed
man.
everyone. It's why Trump tweets about Fed, dude.
Oh, dude.
So,
I don't know, dude.
next topic.
All right, next topic. Recently, Lily and Pokey's agent, talent agent, was featured in Forbes. So that was
Hey,
pretty
she's
cool.
my talent agent too.
Oh,
The fuck? I'm her
Fed,
only
You need
male
talent
client.
to have a talent agent.
Okay.
Oh,
okay. All right.
I'm sorry. I'm
You know
sorry.
what?
It's just the joke cropped up. I could, Anyways, moving on.
That
so
was
yeah,
a
she.
sick joke. Oh, sorry.
All right, so she got interviewed by Forbes. It was really cool. So what's it like? What does an agent do for you guys? So like for me, my agent Mike primarily, talks to companies and gets me deals with them because I don't want to talk to a company and say, "Hi, I'm this guy's Toast," and they say, "Oh, I'm a big fan, Toast. We love your work," and I said, "Give me $50,000 or I'm walking." That's why I have Mike to do that for me and
Yeah.
nail the details. So, what does Hannah do for you guys?
Same here. Except, I feel like in traditional Hollywood business type, you have like an agent who handles your deals and a manager who handles every other aspect of your life and your day to day and blah, blah, blah. But sometimes in esports, your agent and your manager are kind of all in one. So sometimes, like, although, what?
That's illegal
in California.
I know. But my point just being, sometimes Hannah is just so sweet. If I really needed help with something, she might help me, even if it's not within the scope of her work. But that's because she's a great friend, not because she's doing anything illegal.
And yeah, and she's never done that in the past because that would be illegal.
Yeah.
But there are companies allegedly, especially esports teams allegedly, who do perform both. So for chat for those who don't know, in California, because Hollywood's here and shit, it's illegal for a company / person to be both someone's agent and someone's manager. They need to be two distinct companies or distinct individuals. So we only have, our company, UTA, is only our agent. But, and just kind of, I'm talking about like really streamer business stuff, but a lot of esports team kind of act as both. And
oh yeah, I mean everyone knows they're gonna get boned at some year is gonna be.
I also want to explain. I mean, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think like really where it becomes illegal is when, as a manager, let's say you're allowed to take 10%, and an agent you're allowed to take 20, but then you act as both and you take 30%.
No, it's just incredibly bad, like conflict of interest, like super bad. Like that's why like a lot of the esports teams are just like really, they're gonna get hit with something soon, in my opinion, because it's just a matter of time.
We waiting on it.
Yeah, because the whole Tifu thing kind of plays into it, where there's some conflict of interest.
Did you guys see FaZe is suing Tifu right back? So now they're suing each other.
Oh, it's great. Like, I want to sue someone too, I want to feel in on it,
Sue me, Skara, and I'll sue you. And then we'll just be really dramatic about it for like a year and then both drop the cases. Great publicity. Which
my lawyer
may or may not be what I think is going to happen with FaZe and Tifu, but
So wait, why are they suing Tifu? What did he do?
Maybe for like defamation.
Broke NDAs and is withholding paying them their 80%.
Have you guys ever broke NDA? Have you guys ever broke NDA? It's like, oh, you can't tell anyone. Like, I'll be honest, I broke so much fucking NDA. Every time like a company tells me, hey, don't tell this, but we're doing this, the first thing I do is tell you guys, like, hey, by the way, this company.
That's something you want to admit on the podcast?
What the fuck?
Well, I'm not saying which NDA I'm breaking. They can't.
Honestly, it's free advertisement if you tell us.
All right. Also, don't give me that shit. You guys have broke NDA to me before as well. All right.
Whoa, Toast! I would never in my life.
We'd just be there chilling, eating dinner. It's like, oh, by the way, this company's coming out with this next week. I'm like, you're not supposed to tell me, but thanks, man.
What? Pokey, how could you?
Pokey, I think you meant to say Lily. How could you?
Exactly, Lily. It's crazy.
I don't know what you are talking about. NDA is a non-disclosure agreement that we all agreed to sign. Not
This is correct.
tell everyone else of what we are told not to say.
Remember that conversation we had on the couch?
I don't
Spark-
remember.
Spark
tripped on my piano. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
You know that conversation we had on the couch
Oh
and
shit!
Scar.
She's happening.
I just have to go fix this. Hold up.
Alright. Additional topics. Oh, did you guys see that that YouTube vlogger beating up her dog?
Dude, I got
Okay. All right. Lily is very passionate. She loves dogs. All right, Lily. Explain what
fucking
happened.
love that. No, so
Pop off, queen.
my dog Timmy is the best dog.
Not
ever.
explain.
I
Explain Tammy. Explain the video.
Oh, okay. So it's a vlogger, Brooke Houts or something. She accidentally uploaded the wrong footage, and it's basically her.
How do you fuck that up?
She's
How do you
seen
fuck that up?
hitting, grabbing, spitting on her dog. It's very bad, like really bad. And there was a huge amount of backlash. And she did a public apology on Twitter. Yeah, that's the gist of it.
The freakiest
Yeah,
thing
what's
to
the-
me about that video is like, so she has like her YouTube face where she's like smiling and like, you know, being a YouTuber, and then like it just changes the second the dog does
instantly.
something bad.
And
Like
that-
it's filled with hate, and she's like looking at her dog.
She was saying how she was. Hold on, let me. I think apology. She was having a bad day or something. Let me reread it. I don't
Okay,
know.
but it's
Well, can
clear
I
like
ask a
that's
question,
her
though?
way of training the dog, which is disgusting.
Oh,
Yes, Fed?
never mind.
Just say it.
I don't want to say it.
Just say it.
All right, fine.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Like I've heard from like growing up as a kid. Oh shit, did I leave the call again? Okay. Like some people, the way they raise their animals, like teach them like, you know, don't poop here, and they spank their butt, you know? Like in front like
Uh-huh.
yeah. Like would you guys consider that like abuse?
I think there's a
Spanking the
difference between
butt.
like a spank and like spitting at a dog, yelling at it, pushing it over, hitting it. You know, like that's a bit much.
Oh yeah, fuck if I actually spat on the dog. Jesus.
Yeah, I think the other thing is like, it just makes it feel like she's using the dog for content. It's like,
Wait. I told you guys about the story about the one YouTuber who did this, right?
no.
It was oh god, it was a female YouTuber. I don't recall her name, but she blew up because in one of her videos she had her pet behind her and featured in the video, and then that got way more views than her other videos, and then she just brought her animal into every single video from then on, and she blew up because of it. And it's just like, yeah, dude, people love animals for irrationally for no reason, you know? Like right there, Lily would die for Temmie, but like, would I die for Temmie? Temmie goes first.
Hell no.
If you guys were hanging off a cliff and it was Temmie or you, it'd be a difficult decision. But I know
Oh,
what
what
choice I
the-
have to make at the end.
Jesus.
What if it was Temmie or Albert?
It'd be a difficult decision, but I know what choice I have to make in the end. So anyway, back to the video, or the topic at hand. Yeah.
Yes. And animals are great at
Cool.
they're great content, I guess, and you know they make someone seem, because everyone loves an animal lover, right?
Oh,
But some people take advantage of this. I remember, wasn't there a YouTube video apology?
dude,
and
T
the
was
guys-
the T Martin apology.
Literally, first 1 second, he's like hugging his dog, like, "Oh no, what are we gonna do?" Because, but yeah, people like animals and animal lovers. I know I've heard streamers who integrate their pets into a big part of the stream, and they don't take great care of their pets off stream. And when I hear about stuff like that, like this YouTube video just reminded me of it, where it seemed like she only cared about the dog for the content. But we don't know like what really goes on when the camera's off, you know? I think that's why people also latch onto Twitch streamers more often. It's like that can't really happen in a Twitch stream. Because on a YouTube video, to get exposed, you have to accidentally upload yourself being like your evil, normal self kind of deal for people to catch on. But normally you can just cut it all out. With Twitch streaming, it's like you have to pretend for like 5-6 hours. It's much harder. Have you guys ever met a streamer who behaved very differently from their stream persona?
I've heard about that a lot, but I haven't personally really experienced it. But also, I think people try to be nice to me for other reasons, so they probably wouldn't like slip up around me, if that makes sense.
Wait, oh god. That reminds. Oh god.
Oh, Scar's got something juicy.
Scar, let's go.
Let's go.
Something more about the last thing that she said. Like, I'm like, I feel like I'm like a super bad judge of character now. Cause like, anytime I talk to you guys about people, you guys are like, oh, that person did bad stuff. Like, that's not like that person's not cool. And I'm like, really? They were so nice around me. Cause like, I don't hang out with people, right? Like, I just
never said that.
What?
When I talk to you guys told me the truth. I don't do that, Scar. I just want to point that out.
I do. Don't worry.
I do too.
Yeah. Wait, what do you guys do?
Wait, no. It's not like you like shit talk them. I'm like, what do you think about this person? Well, this person did like, so I've heard she's done this and this and this, and like I won't hear any of that, right? And my first reaction would be like, wow, that's a lot different than my initial reaction. Like I feel like I get very surface level details and I trust people too easily a lot of times.
But it's also like take it with a grain of salt, right? Like
you
never actually met them.
I don't judge people based primarily on what people say,
Okay.
But I will take more merit if like you guys are telling me to like this, right? Because it's you guys are closer to me, and so your word means more.
That's very wise.
That's cute, Scara. We appreciate you a lot.
Are you in Toast room?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
How many people do you think peed in there at the party?
Hey, was Toast room's door open or closed during the party?
Yeah, dude, Yuna had some chick, and I was like, dude, come in here, man. It's all yours.
I mean, if it's Yuna, it's fine. If you want to smash, I would be honored to have.
That's comfy.
Dude, it's so funny. At the first party offline, not the first, our first New Year's party with me, Yuna had some chick, and he brought her in here. Like